Talks by Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. We are continuing it from January 8, 1981. ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ श्रीगणेशाय नमः January 8, 1981. Nisargadatta Maharaj says, outwardly you can imitate a jnani, but the jnani has no fear. Questioner. He is the ultimate? Maharaj says, the ultimate state is that state in which there is a total end to this body, name and form. When there is no form, shape, color or name, who is there to ask anything? If that is, whatever happens, you accept it based on your identity with the body, and the body is time bound. Question. I have experienced that it is not being. Maharaj says, what do you understand by the experience? What is the significance of the experience? Question. It is not an experience of anybody. Maharaj says, any experience occurs where there is a change. If there is no change, there can be no experience. Questioner. It is not an experience, it is a state of being, non being. It is a state of being, non being. Maharaj says, that which you say is and is not, is it according to words or is it an experience? I will not play hide and seek with the words. That which you are describing, is it an experience or just the words? It is likely that you have been influenced by what you have read and heard, and therefore what you are saying is only what you have heard. Is it right? Or is what you are saying a practical experience which you have had? Question. I said before, it is not anybody's experience. Maharaj says. First, I thought I was the body. Then I experienced that I was not the body, but I was the consciousness. Then I got the experience that this consciousness is not really me and there is no form, no individuality, no nothing. Is that your experience? The experience is that there is no body, nothing, that I am and I am not. What is it that no? What is it that is no longer there? The consciousness of the body. Now there is no more center. Thoughts don't come from the center as a body. Maharaj says, if thoughts don't come from your center as an individual body, then how do the thoughts come? Do you now identify yourself with the thoughts? Do you think the meaning of the thoughts and you are one and the same? No. What has really transpired? What is the change? The change is that the center in consciousness which was there is gone. The center I am is gone. Tell me something about that center. First, there was a center of identification in the body, and now I don't feel that. Now there is no borderline. Now there is no particular entity. I am means the knowledge you are. That is now unlimited. The knowledge I am has no limitation at all. That's right. Thank you. Now I must go. When he talks saying I am doing this or I am doing that, what he means is I am that knowledge I am. That is consciousness. Because unless the consciousness is there, the body is not. That in deep sleep we are not aware of the body, we are aware of the body only when we are awake and the consciousness is there. Therefore, when I say this, I mean that it is this consciousness which I am and not the body which comes later. This sickness is an aspect of the consciousness, and I am not the consciousness, I am not the I amness. Whatever sickness is there is in the domain of consciousness. With the aid of consciousness, sickness is being experienced. When I shall be totally in my ultimate state, when this consciousness is finally extinguished, my total perfect state, that is my total perfect state. When will I have no experience in this illness? Just as the sun sets, only when this consciousness sets, there be will there be perfect health or no experience of this sickness. So long as the consciousness is there, the sickness must be experienced. What is my pleasure or happiness? Nothing other than this knowledge I am, this consciousness. Your idea of knowledge is something you can catch hold of, something you can feel and put into your pocket. This knowledge is not of that kind. When I know that I am knowledge itself, what can I hope to get? Next, January 9, 1981. Questioner, what are the thoughts? Maharaj, they are the result of previous conditioning which the mind has had. Are the thoughts of the jnani and the ignorant one different from one another? Are the thoughts of the jnani and the ignorant one different from one another? The difference is that the jnani has divorced himself from the body mind. The body mind thoughts will come and go, but the jnani is not concerned, whereas the ignorant one gets involved in those thoughts, and the ignorant one considers himself as a name and a form. Should I keep in mind constantly that I am consciousness only? You are consciousness, and consciousness is you, and that is it. It is not necessary to always keep your attention on that fact. When you know that this is your finger, is it necessary to constantly repeat that it is your finger? What is there to be done? When an action must be done or a choice made, how should one make the choice? Just understand that it is not your personal action or choice. Do not get involved in as the doer. Why do you get involved in all these concepts? First, find out what you consider yourself to be. Are you an entity? Get that problem solved instead of getting involved in all kinds of concepts. What are you? You cannot understand with your intellect. It is beyond the grasp of the intellect. January 11, 1981. Questioner, the spiritual experiences which I have, are they something which should not be there? What is it? Maharaj says, it is all entertainment. You are present here. Is your body not the result of someone's entertainment? So long as you know that experiences are only appearances in consciousness, it's all right. Understanding is not a matter of time. If you really perceive the truth, it is simple and quickly grasped. The conscious presence depends on the body, and the body is nothing but the sperm and ovum. So, where is this you? This body is like an instrument that says, I am, like an announcer. Presently, you think that you are the body mind, and whatever concepts you have collected are flowing out. When you begin spirituality, you reject the body mind with I am not that. Then you come to that. You come to the I am only without words. Then you are everything, you are not confined to the body. Because of the instrument of the body, that feeling of consciousness is there, and I, the absolute, am not that. Having stabilized in the consciousness, the next step is to be in a position to observe the consciousness and all the play that is happening in the consciousness, just to understand. attachment to the body and to the consciousness is very strong. To get rid of it is very difficult. The birth principle, the chemical around which the body formation takes place, has no form and or design and actually didn't exist. That non existing thing suddenly came into existence. What is the validity of its existence? It's an apparition only. It can't be the truth. That's why I dare talk like this. This is a big hoax, a big fraud created out of nothingness. Can you create something out of nothing? Whatever I said is securely planted in that birth principle of yours. You cannot extract it. In due course, it will proliferate into knowledge. I don't want life, even for a moment, but in that momentary life, there are so many lives. I am not afraid of death. With the death, the imperfection is removed. Consciousness, the stigma of imperfection, is gone. What remains is total perfection. There is no guarantee that I will meet you tomorrow. But the reality is that there is no separation at all between you and me because we are one. Do not imagine any separation. January 12, 1981. Maharaj says, referring to his lighter, the flame will last as long as the fuel is there. Is there any question of emancipation or awakening for that flame? The body and consciousness which come into being because of the five elements, can there be any emancipation for them? The one who is prior to the appearance of the elements is always there. What you are doing is using your mind and intellect, but what I say is not based on the intellect, but rather on whatever comes up spontaneously in consciousness. You try to fix that knowledge which springs spontaneously from consciousness into the structure of concepts you have built out of the mind and intellect. This can never happen. Question: why do I feel such satisfaction here in Maharaj's presence? Because that need which arises in consciousness and brings you here is satisfied. Because that need which arises in consciousness and brings you here is satisfied. Some people come here for knowledge. I talk because the words naturally come out. There is no intention behind my talks that you should get knowledge. Others come here because they are in difficulties. I make no determination that those difficulties should go away. But the fact remains that in many cases they do go away. I merely sit here. People come and go. I am not concerned, just like a witness. They come here from long distances because the consciousness feels the need to come here. The individual does not come here because of an intellectual decision to come here. Consciousness takes him by the ear and brings him here. My next door neighbors don't come, but people from all corners of the world come here with a sense of urgency. Why? The first time I came here, Maharaj told me that my I amness was a food product and that Lord Krishna's consciousness was the same as a donkey's consciousness. I tried to get a reservation out of Bombay that day, but I could not get one for a week and I had to stay. Many talented and well-known people have come here, but they come with the great humility. Is there any one of them who has knowledge about himself? I am practicing Nama Japa. Is that alright? Recite the sacred name, that's alright. But the important thing is that to recognize and understand what is the presiding principle by which you know you are and by which you perceive everything else. You must look at yourself, get to know yourself. The riddle of spirituality cannot be solved by your intellect. At the most, your intellect can provide you with the livelihood. Whatever you try to become, that is not you. Before the words come out, Before you say I am, that is you. You must be concerned only with yourself. Don't worry about anybody else. What are you? So, these are the points today. Next, January 14, 1981, we shall discuss in the next session. Hare Rama. Hare Krishna. Sadguru Charanarpita. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samsta Sukhino Bhavantu. Sarjana Sant Nirbhayaha. श्री निसर्गदत्त महाराज की जय। ओम तत्सत।